clarify, we were focused particularly on Cerrado as the risky ecosystem. So regarding the challenges that we have identified in the area, we have noted the fact that currently the protection status of the Cerrado due to the forest code is quite low, comparing notably to the Amazon. This is due to the particular property context and legal context in Brazil, as well as with the lower attention Cerrado has benefited compared to the Amazon, notably from NGOs, so the NGO focus. So the second point was that we are dealing here to implement a landscape approach with a lot of small producers in Brazil with different production schemes and different supply chains. So for sugarcane, for instance, we have big groups and soy with big traders as well. And for other commodities, we have very small producers, so it's difficult to deal with all these types of players and to engage them, of course. The other difficulty is that there is currently in Brazil no consensus on the very definition of deforestation, nor on deforestation maps. So it is very difficult for a company to establish, let's say, a mapping of the area in order to know where are the suitable lands to expand the agricultural activities and where are the areas to protect. So regarding the key success factors that we think are important to launch a landscape approach, the first thing is that we need to ensure to have a common traceability systems towards this area. This is very important, notably for the end users on the ground, and should be part of this landscape approach. Then we need to get, as I said, that consensus on the mapping of the high-risk areas and what are the areas suitable. So that should be also bared by the research institute and the local government as well as the NGO. Then of course we need to be able to involve all the local communities in that mapping. Currently in Brazil, the free, prior and informed consent mapping is not used, so we should also benefit from the example of palm oil in that area. So then in terms of the solutions and possible convergence, we have defined different responsibilities and roles depending on the stakeholder group. So at the level of end users and most globally supply chain players, we think that it is important that they define together specifications for their requirements towards the producers and the suppliers in the area based on the consensual maps of deforestation and the recommendation from NGOs. Also that they can work together to develop a common traceability platform that should be a multi-sector and multi-stakeholder. And they could also possibly develop a common governance in the area, like it was the case with the Amazon soy moratorium, but taking into account the fact that there could be also potential linkages to other area where the pressure regarding deforestation will be higher. Then we have also discussed the idea of a potential landscape certification in the area, knowing that so for soy and other commodities such as sugarcane, maize, rice, etc., we have like a rotation of cultures. So it could be very interesting to look at this certification, but at a landscape level and not at a product level. So here we have the role of different roundtables such as the Territoires, Bonsucro, and others to develop that system. That should include as well a monitoring system for the progress of the territory. And in Brazil, we have different tools already available to monitor deforestation. And we also think that the research and the NGO could also help promoting a consensus on the areas that should be protected. And to also propose pilot programs that should help test the landscape approach through, for instance, intensification, sustainable intensification of the production, through agroforestry, through reforestation. So having a project that could embed all these interesting initiatives. And the recommended scale we would like to work on, we decided to focus on the cities that we think we could have the most important leverage to work with the local governments. And of course, in parallel, also develop a common lobbying towards the national government in Brazil so that they can reinforce the protection status of the Cerrado.